this, and keep in mind, he can't warp in any units because he's maxed. And he does throw a storm. He only has one High Templar over here to defend, so definitely wants to get rid of some of his army so he can deal with that drop, bringing his Zealot over to deal with that Planetary Fortress. That won't work. And here we go, the Zealots are coming forward, charging into this Marine Marauder ball, but the Sentries and High Templar are behind. Some Cloaked Ghosts are just putting EMPs on every single one of these units, so no storms are at the disposal of RGNFayth. And look at the supply count, ladies and gentlemen. RGNFayth down. Actually, as I say that, Colossus going to work on this Bio army. Will RGNFayth have enough? And keep in mind, RGNFayth cleaning up this drop from behind, finally able to reinforce there, and he's left with 3 Colossus, and they will all die. So, ladies and gentlemen, RGNFayth is down 135 to 105, so Candide definitely showing he is a force to be reckoned with. And I just want to recap that battle really quick. Something ingenious from the Terran player there. He cloaked 3 ghosts, waltzed into the midst of RGNFayth's army, and simply EMP'd every single spellcaster, all the sentries, all the Templars. So RGNFayth quite simply could not storm, could not force field, so definitely came out behind following that battle. But look at this, continuing to produce these upgrades, and actually is maxed out on those 3 upgrades. Needs to start researching those plasma shields, I would assume. He will be starting that in the near future. Looks like a lot of Vikings and some Banshees coming out from Candide, and I'm really looking forward to the battle cruiser transition. I mean, if you have 3 starports with Tech Labs actually approaching 4, why not? He has plenty of money, has to work on that gas, of course, but definitely intrigued to see where Candide decides to go in this game. He is approaching maxed once again, adding on a 5th base, getting that nicely saturated, turning that into a Planetary Fortress, also throwing down 4 bunkers back in face base. Looks like he wants to do a push here, has quite a few Zealots, Stalkers, a Sentry, a lot of High Templar, and a Colossus. But once again, I want to keep you guys alerted. There's only 1 observer on the field. That's definitely what hurt him in the previous altercation. He was not able to spot those ghosts, was not able to kill those before they threw down those EMPs, but does have an observer in this army, so we'll definitely be on the lookout for those Cloaked Ghosts. Definitely does not want that terrible EMP action to happen again that quite frankly decimated his army potential, of course, hitting all those High Templar. Not able to use Storm, and when you can't use Storm against a Terran Bio army, it's really never good news. Looks like a lot of Banshees coming out for Candide. A little bit of lag from Faith. Hopefully that goes away in the near future. Let me take some water really quick. Excuse me. A little bit of a break there. So yeah, back into the game. Looks like Candide did load up a drop, I should say. Where did it go? Here it is. So I'll have to keep an eye on this as this proceeds towards the natural 4th of RGNFayth. Definitely a lot of gateways over here, but a Templar should be able to ward that off effectively, I would imagine, if he can get a feedback off or a storm down on these Marines and Marauders. And actually, let's keep an eye on this. The feedback could happen. Keep in mind there could be an engagement going on in the middle of the map, and there is the drop going down, and Candide may use this as a distraction to engage Faith's army. Coming forward with his ghosts, will Faith spread out his units? And then if an EMP, look at his army, it's completely clumped together, and EMP does go down, hits a lot of units. EMP's going down from every single one of these ghosts, and Faith is backing away immediately, does not want to engage. All of his units are low in shields, and the engagement is occurring as we speak. It's really hard to tell. A lot of Cloaked Banshees in the midst of the Terran army. Are any observers out? It doesn't look like it. Where did your observer go? RGNFayth forced to back away. All these Cloaked Banshees are too much, and these Colossus could all go down. Faith, a lot of trouble here, but keep in mind, oh my gosh, he's so low in money too, so Faith definitely on his back foot here, and these Cloaked Banshees are just going to work on these Protoss units. There are no observers in sight for RGNFayth, and he is definitely not looking good. Down in minerals, down in gas, as opposed to his opponent who's up 4,000, 1,000, and is starting battle cruiser production. Ladies and gentlemen, battle cruisers are approaching the game, and Faith is down 178 to 149 supply. So definitely not looking too good. I mean, he's trying to get his 5th base up and saturated, but keep in mind, Candide has had his 5th base up and saturated for quite a long time here. He's going to return his Banshees home to get repaired, but I am not going to lose faith in RGNFayth. He can definitely come back in this game. Keep in mind, he has all these High Templars, and he has his Observer back. Has 3 Observers. Ladies and gentlemen, he's not messing around anymore. Does not want to lose those Observers. Wants to have vision of those Banshees, of those Cloaked Ghosts. Wants to do an engagement here. Let's see what's going to happen. Lower this really quick. Looks like a lot of units from Candide, Marines and Marauders, a lot of Medevacs and Vikings. RGNFayth does not know about the battle cruisers. Are they out yet? It doesn't look like it. An engagement is going to happen coming forward. Where are the Ghosts? There's an EMP. Goes on every single single one of the High Templar, barring one, which elects to do some feedback on the medevacs. Will it be enough from RGNFayth trying to engage the army here as two Immortals up in the front, but battle cruisers have joined in on the fight. The Stalkers are trying to target those down, but I'm not sure RGNFayth has enough to deal with this army. But as I say, they're cleaning up the battle cruisers, so RGNFayth definitely showing that those upgrades are incredibly amazing. 3-3 for both of these players. Actually, RGNFayth deciding to back up as the Banshees swoop forward. And where are those observers? These Archons are actually doing a decent amount of damage. The cloak does go down, and those 3 observers, were they killed? Yes, they were. So those 3 observers, RGNFayth, the next time they engage, do not be surprised to see 10 observers come out from our orange Protoss player. And this game is incredible, ladies and gentlemen, approaching the 30-minute mark. And if you're just now joining us, this is round 1 of the GO4SC2 Cup number 68. This is a best of 1. So both of these players definitely going at it, and I'm so happy we chose this game. Some awesome action going on. Keep in mind, battle cruisers are on the field from Candide. Actually, they got killed pretty quickly, so not building any more. I guess not liking how they fared in battle. So transitioning back to the Banshee play, probably saw the fact that RGNFayth was having trouble keeping those observers alive, so definitely looking to use, oh my gosh, look at this. Observers being chronoed out of the robotics facility, so Fayth definitely not messing around, also getting gravitic boosters. Is that for the Warp Prism or is that for the Observer? That is for the Observer, so the movement speed on the Observers is getting upgraded for RGNFayth. This definitely does not want to be caught off guard. And looks like all these Banshees are coming forward to the back of Fayth's base. Does have plenty of cannons here, but keep in mind only one pylon charging all of them, and no High Templars here to do any feedback. So these Banshees are going to town on all of these pros. Fayth finally pulling them away. Where are your High Templars? I don't see any anywhere. He's going to pull. Oh, he has some Void Rays on the way, pulling those to deal with these Banshees, also bringing his observers along. The speed upgrade is about to finish, so here we go. Those observers are going to be very fast now, and a Templar does come in, does throw down a feedback, and these Void Rays are going to try to run away. Are some more feedbacks going to go down? Yes, feedbacks on every single one of these Banshees. Keep in mind, these observers are giving vision, and there are 5 of them, so perhaps a little bit of overkill, but that's okay. This Nexus does get taken down, so definitely a fair trade from Candide right there, but keep in mind, RGNFayth trying to get his 5th and 6th bases saturated ASAP. Let me look at the income tab really quick. Dead even in Harvester, 73 to 73, and it doesn't look like actually Fayth is continuing to produce those probes, so wants to get that count up a little bit more. And yes, a Void Ray transition for our Protoss player, which could lend to a later game. That seems really silly to say, even though we are in the late game, but I guess even later game transition to carriers and perhaps some mothership play, so definitely keep an eye out for that. And keep in mind, we have seen some battle cruisers, but it looks like Candide decided not to make any more of those, electing more towards the Banshee play, Medevac, and Viking. And look at these bunkers. How often have you seen these? Those that look powerful indeed. Will be really hard for RGNFayth to break that, but keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Fayth has these expansions, and Candide only has one of those. Looks like an engagement is coming forward from RGNFayth, coming forward with a lot of Zealots, Observers, Archons, Stalkers, Immortals, High Templar, and Void Rays. Nearly every unit in the Protoss tech tree coming forward to engage here. A storm going down on every single unit from Candide. Some huge storms. All these Banshees are in the incredibly low health. Will it be enough for RGNFayth? Finds himself ahead, 146 to 140 supply. Continuing to press forward. These Void Rays doing so much damage, not quite charged. How are their upgrades? I can't see because I have it lowered, but that's okay. These Marauders cannot shoot up, so these Void Rays will go to town. And while a lot of Marauders remain, all of these Void Rays are just doing so much damage. They are now charged, and they do have 2-1 upgrades, 2 on the shields, 1 on the weapons research, and Candide deciding to charge forward with every single one of these Marauders. Wants to go for some sort of base trade. He realizes he can't shoot up. That upgrade has not been implemented by Blizzard just yet, and immediately Fayth warping in so many charge slots to try to deal with this, and this should be enough to clean up the remainder of Candide's army. And will Candide be able to reinforce? Has plenty of Vikings on the field, has plenty of resources, ladies and gentlemen. 4,000 gas for our Blue Terran player. And Fayth with a pretty nice trade there, but keep in mind they are still tied in the supply count. So definitely still relatively even, but something else to keep in mind. Let's look at the income tab really quick. 1,800 in favor of Fayth to the 1,500 of his opponent. Of course, that comes down to these 2 additional expansions, I should say. and Candide has this expansion and is just now getting this expansion up and running. But also something else to keep in mind, he's had this expansion up for quite a while, whereas this one has been denied. It looks like Fayth has given up on trying to resaturate this expansion too much to deal with, and as I say, it looks like Fayth taking down the rocks with the High Templars. That's what it looked like, but of course these Zealots were doing damage to those rocks, not the High Templar. It looks like Fayth's unit composition definitely relying on those Void Rays, and ladies and gentlemen, a nuke is on the way. So an amazing game on our hands. A nuke is being researched from that Ghost Academy, and a fleet beacon is on the way. Ladies and gentlemen, get your friends in here. We have a game for the ages here. And of course, if you missed it, the VOD will be up when this stream goes down. Where's the fleet beacon? I cannot find it. Find the fleet beacon. There it is. The fleet beacon is on the way, has plenty of Stargates on the field, 3 Stargates, and of course, don't rule out Mothership play. Once again, both of these players are maxed. And will an engagement happen in the near future? Let's take a look at Candide's unit composition. Does have plenty of ghosts on the field, about, I think, 9. Let me make this easier for myself and open up that units tab. 8 ghosts on the field, along with a tactical nuke, 33 Marines, 13 Vikings, 6 Banshees, 3 Medevacs, and 18 Marauders. Definitely looking to engage here, coming forward with a bunch of cloaked ghosts. Is the nuke going to go down? An EMP goes down on every single unit here, at least the majority of the units. So many EMPs going down. Will it be enough, though? I would say the positioning would favor Fayth. I mean, the Marine and Marauders are caught in this choke. A storm goes down in the middle of that choke, so all of these Marines and Marauders are disappearing, but at the same time, all of Fayth's Void Rays are gone. The Vikings were enough to clean that up, and Fayth is down 160 to 99 supply. Did he warp in anywhere? Fayth could be in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Warping in at his natural, what do I call this, 6th base. Does have some Templar here, but don't quite have Storm. And it looks like Candide is not feeling confident enough with the level of health of those Marines and Marauders, is deciding to back up. Did that nuke go down? No, the nuke is still there, so could still potentially be used, so definitely keep an eye on that. Are all the ghosts alive? There are no ghosts on the field, so we will have to remake that ghost in order to call down a tactical nuke. Are the ghosts coming? Yes, one ghost is on the way. Where are you, ghost? Where's my nuclear striker? There it is. That ghost is going to be throwing down a nuke. I'm calling it right now, and I'm excited. It looks like 3 more Colossus coming out from Fayth. So transitions going everywhere. From Void Ray to Colossus, back to Void Ray, back to Colossus. Kind of reminds me of that Old Spice commercial, look back at me. But that's just silly. Looks like Fayth getting his High Templar count up and running here. Plenty of Zealots as well, and Stalkers, but look at this army. It's not that big. I mean, Fayth is down 163 to 200 supplies, so Candide definitely taking back the lead here, getting that next base completely saturated. And ladies and gentlemen, are we going to see a mined out Shakuris Plateau? Looks like a drop is coming down with Marauders here, going to try to clean up this probe, I would assume, and this probe has a goal, and the goal is to make that expansion, but unfortunately his commanding officer did not tell him to do that command, and will get eliminated by those 4 Marauders. Keep in mind that this expansion is up for RGNFayth. Does Candide know this is there? Yes, he does. He sees those red dots and can just assume that those red alerts are not 2 Zealots patrolling. Obviously, some probes mining, so I would expect him to go and try to harass that in the near future. Looks like that drop was taken out. Let's look at the kills. Let's see if we have any hero units in this group. If any have been in there from the beginning. No, I'm seeing 0 kills on all of these units, so definitely recruits in the army of RGNFayth. And once again, both of these players are maxed. And if you're just now joining us, this is round 1. This is the best of 1 of the GO4SC2 Cup. So we have a lot of games to go. And this game is lasting a long time and is incredibly awesome. And battle cruisers are back on the field from Candide, coming forward with a lot of battle cruisers, Marines, Marauders, Vikings, and Banshees. So much action going on here. We will have an engagement, a really good Congate from Fayth. All of this damage from